Okay, so today I want to profile mine and many people's favorite character from the Animals of Farthing Woods. Now, if you haven't seen the show, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but if you have seen the show, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, it's Adder, played by Stacey Jefferson. Yeah, Adder is one of the coolest characters I ever known because she is definitely a hero, but she acts and talks like a villain. So, yeah, I guess you think, oh, like the Punisher. No, I mean, she is sadistic. She takes a delight in other people's suffering and fear. But she does it to protect the ones she cares about. Now, in the first episodes, she was a bully that threatened the smaller animals like the voles, the mice, and the shrews. And she was already a pretty entertaining character because one, she had a cool voice, and two, she was tough as nails. I mean, she didn't care what anybody thought about her, and nobody messed with her out of pure fear. But she underwent this amazing character arc throughout the show, in where she became the protector of all the animals from Farthing Wood. I mean, she still kept up this threatening mannerism, but she risked her own life several times to save them. One good example is when she saves Fox's mate Vixen from one of those riding fox hunters by biting the horse, and all the animals saw it and they applaud her, and she blushed and said, "Oh, it wasn't me, it was some other stupid snake." Because she don't want people to think of her as a good guy. She likes to be able to scare people. But Adder's biggest moment was when she killed off Scarface. Now, Scarface was a blue fox that had killed many of the animals in season 2, and he had bitten off Adder's tail, but she managed to escape into a small cave into which she could not follow. She stayed there for days until she knew Scarface was gone. Then she crawled out and said, "Next time is my turn." Yeah, that's my Adder voice, sorry. Adder then found Scarface drinking from the river with his front feet in the water. Adder swam up to him and, of course, bite him. Then she watched to her delight when he died out of the poison. Yeah, she's pretty sadistic for being a hero, as I said. Then when she slithered away from there, she met the great white stag, the leader of the forest. And he said, "Good morning, Adder. You seem to look well despite your injury. Scarface doing?" And she said, I quote from my memory here, "How did you guess?" And he said, "I was actually on my way to see Scarface." And she said, "He's down by the river. I've already done my business." He responded, "May I ask whether it's worth continuing my journey?" "Depends whether you just wanted to see Scarface or to talk to him." "To talk to him." "Then save you the bother. Sometimes actions speaks louder than words." Then for the rest of the episode she told all the other animals that she killed Scarface, and they all celebrated, which was kind of sick now when I think about it. So that was her big awesome moment in the show. So what more can you really say about Adder? She's very funny. Yeah, she's the only character that actually breaks the fourth wall on occasion. And she actually adds a bit of humor to her threats as well. My favorite being when Mr. Rabbit gets his foot hurt and he complains about it, but since he always complains about even the smallest discomforts, the other animal simply ignores him and he starts whining, and Adder slithers up to him and said, I could bite you. Then everyone will really feel sorry for you. Sorry. I get sore throat out of talking like Adder. I would describe Adder as tough, threatening, heroic, funny. She's extremely cool, and she's very independent actually. Yeah, if she was left alone and left to her own devices, she would do just fine by her own. She wasn't so dependent on the other animals as they was of her. There were actually once in the first season where she stayed behind to threaten off a guard dog while the rest escaped, and they forgot to take her along, but she didn't mind. She stayed on the farm for a time, killing rats. Some of the animals did not want her back. They were too afraid of her, but they sort of agreed that they sort of owed her. So they sent Owl to get her, and when Owl found Adder sarcastically said, "I suspect there were many volunteers." Like she knows how unpopular she is among the other animals. As for relationships, the closest relationship she had with any character in the show was with Owl. Now, Owl was this very smart woman that always looked down on the other animals, both figuratively and literally. I think Adder sort of liked that about her, that Owl was very condescending, and while Owl was very helpful, she wasn't the nicest character, and even though Owl did have feelings, she didn't show them much. Stupid dog yelling in the background. Owl and Adder had this wonderful friendship together. Yeah, they hunted together when the other animals weren't around, because of that oath. And Adder even said that Owl would be a better leader than Fox or Badger. So, in a sense, you can say that Owl was Adder's soulmate. As I said, they had a very wonderful friendship between them. The only other friend I think Adder had was Vixen. Yeah, they didn't have much in common, but since Adder saved her life even though she didn't know Vixen, Vixen has been very grateful towards Adder ever since. And Adder have helped Vixen looking after the cubs a couple of times. Okay, in season 3, Adder got a mate named Sidious. In the books, Adder is actually a male and Sidious was a female. But they switched it for the show, and since I haven't read the books, this video is only about Adder from the animated series. Now, I liked Sidious a lot. He wasn't a male clone of Adder, but a romantic English gentleman. He was also a bit dumber than Adder, but still very tough. The villains of season 3 was these rats that came in huge numbers, and one of them managed to strangle Sidious to death. And that was the only time you actually saw Adder cry. She had seen a lot of animals die before, but that had never bothered her. At least not in a way that showed. So she must have loved Sidious an awful lot. And those two, they had such a wonderful chemistry together. He usually described her as the venom of his heart and so on. And seeing Adder cry, that was definitely one of the one of the saddest moments of the entire show, seeing Ad, there is such a tough chick, actually cry. When Sidious died, she went on a murderous rampage, killing hundreds of rats, not even eating them, mostly just killing them off for revenge. She said, they killed my Sidious, so I will kill all of them. So that's all I have on Adder, one of my favorite characters ever. And definitely my favorite character from the Animals of Farthing Woods. That was a huge part of my childhood, and is one of my favorite cartoons ever. You should definitely see it. So have a good day, and I see you next time.